Hey, welcome to your SPD approved prenatal yoga class. This is just going to be a really quick class to help you feel a little more stretched out and prepared for birth. This is a class that is for SPD, or pelvic girdle pain. So if you're experiencing really severe pelvic pain when you're maybe balancing on one foot, or if you take the feet really wide, this class is designed to get you stretched out in a safe and comfortable way and prepare your body for birth in a way that prenatal yoga or most prenatal yoga classes wouldn't be able to do without pain. For this class, be sure to grab some yoga blocks. If you don't have those, you can use a pillow, or if you need to grab like a stool or a bench to place your hands on. I am going to begin by sitting on a bolster, just elevating the hips up, or a pillow, elevating those hips up, getting the hips in line with the spine, getting things a little bit more comfortable for you. If you want, if sitting in a cross-legged position doesn't feel good, you can also straddle your pillow. Imagine those legs kind of squeezing together, keeping those legs hip distance apart. So go ahead and just come to a comfortable seated position. When you're ready, close your eyes or soften your gaze by looking down at the floor in front of you. And just take a few deep inhales and long drawn out exhales. Just taking a moment to arrive into this space today. And maybe asking yourself how you're feeling today. Know that there's no right or wrong, no good or bad here. Just acknowledging what comes up. And then when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open, taking the palms to the top of the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Keep going. On the next inhale, we're going to bring our arms into it. Open them wide as you lift the gaze, and then take the back of the wrist to touch in front of you as you round and tuck the chin. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round and contract. On your next inhale, come to a neutral spine. You can grab onto a yoga block if you have it. Otherwise, just place your hand on the mat beside you. Hand will go onto the block or the mat. Opposite arm reaches up and overhead. Keeping that sit bone connected down to your cushion or your mat. Gaze can go wherever feels best on your neck. Taking a few deep breaths into the side body. Inhale, come up and release down. We'll move this to the opposite side. Taking your hand to the block or the mat, reach the opposite arm up and over. Inhale, come up and release down. Let's go ahead and remove those props off the mat, and then we're going to come to hands and knees. Tabletop position. So the wrists will be underneath the shoulders. Knees can be underneath the hips or just slightly wider if you need a little bit extra space. On our inhale, we're going to let the belly relax down towards the mat, keeping the spine neutral, gaze down to the mat. And then as you exhale, I want you to tuck the pelvis, hug the baby in, round the shoulders, and tuck the chin. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, tuck, squeeze the baby in with the belly, give baby a nice hug, and then come back to neutral. And round. Two more times. Awesome. Come back to neutral. Let's go ahead and release down onto the forearms. Keeping those knees again underneath the hips. You can stay here. Maybe extend the arms to the top of the mat, releasing the forehead and chest down. On your next inhale, slowly coming back up, placing those hands underneath the shoulders again. Let's tuck the toes. We're going to send the hips to the ceiling as the chest comes to the thighs. Taking a moment here, pedaling the feet out. So you're going to bend one knee, press one heel down, just moving back and forth. And press both heels down towards the mat. Slowly walk the hands to the feet. Bend the knees and roll all the way up. And once you get up, you can grab onto either a yoga block if you have it, or a pillow, and we're gonna place this in between the thighs. So just placing it between the upper thighs, squeezing those thighs together. Standing at the top of the mat, and I just want you to notice what it feels like here. As you're standing in this mountain pose, you should have a natural curve in your lower spine, so you're not sticking the butt back or tucking it under. You have a natural curve. Just notice what this feels like in your hips. So with the pillow or the yoga block in between the thighs, squeezing the thighs together, we're really engaging those muscles that help support the pelvis and the hips. So strengthening those inner thighs, strengthening the quads can really help support the hips, bringing a little bit more stability in there for you. So this pose alone is helping you. And then let's reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, sit the hips back like you're sitting into a chair, coming into chair pose. Again, keeping the knees squeezing together with this in between the thighs. We shouldn't be able to go into improper positioning. So again, just a natural curve in the lower spine. You're going to press through the heels as you inhale, stand all the way up. Now you can squeeze at the top and then exhale, release back down. Inhale, stand up, and exhale, release. 2 more times. And last time. Sinking down. Inhale, stand all the way up. Go ahead and release the hands down. You can grab onto whatever prop you have, place that off to the side. So we're going to keep the right foot forward and then take about a half a distance step back with the left foot. Normally, if you're going to come into a pose like Warrior Two, which we're going to come to, we'll take a really wide stance. But with the pelvic instability, I want you to keep those legs as close as feels comfortable for you. So we're going to bend into the front knee, really focusing on that front knee pressing towards the outer edge of the mat. So it's not coming in towards the center. You want to press that wide. Arms will come to a T. And gaze over your front hand. Good job. Flip the front palm to the ceiling. We're going to reach it all the way up. Left hand will go to your back thigh. Deep inhale. And exhale, release back to Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. We're going to pivot onto the back foot so that the hips are square to the front of the mat. Both feet are pointed towards the front of the mat. Again, just bring the stance as close as you need to. Imagine these feet are in 2 different train tracks, so they're not in line. We're going to grab onto opposite elbows behind your back or just your wrists if you can. Inhale, open up chest, find space, and then exhale, we're gonna forward fold here. So lead with your chest as you come down, coming to a flat back. And then when you get here, I want you to keep that back foot connected to the mat, but shift some of your weight into your front foot. Notice how that evens out the hips. Try not to round into the back, so keep a long spine. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to step back to the top of the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Release those hands down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, ground down through your feet, grow through the crown of your head. Deep inhale. Exhale, hinge to the right. Now hug baby in with the belly as you exhale and breathe out. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, hinge. Inhale to center, release those hands, keep them up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sink back into chair. So now we're in chair without the prop in between the thighs, and just notice if you are maybe sticking your butt back, if you have a different curve in the lower spine, you want to keep that neutral, natural curve. Inhale, power back up, squeeze the glutes at the top. Exhale, sink down. See if you can get a little lower this time. Inhale up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, power up. And exhale, sink down. Working on that endurance, working on pelvic floor, strengthening and stabilizing. Stand all the way up. Release the hands down. This time the other foot will stay forward, taking that half a distance with that back foot turned off to the side. Bend into the front knee. Open the arms to a T. Again, checking in with this front knee. Make sure that's pressing wide. Gaze over your front hand. Pressing that front foot into the mat. Really activating through the front leg. Flipping the front palm to the ceiling. Reach it all the way back. Right hand or back hand goes to your leg. Deep inhale into the side body. Exhale, release back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Pivot that back foot so it's facing forward. Hips are square to the front of the mat. Grabbing onto opposite elbows. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, begin to hinge at the waist. Now you're keeping the spine long, so you should lead with the chest as you release down here. Coming to a flat back or wherever you can feel that stretch. Keep the back foot grounded. Shift the weight a little bit into that front foot. Inhale, come all the way up. And go ahead and step to the top of the mat. Now we're going to grab onto a yoga block again or a pillow and coming onto the ground. So go ahead and roll onto your side and then we're going to roll onto our back. Placing your block or your pillow between the upper thighs again, squeezing the thighs together. Now this block can be whichever level feels good. So if you want it this way or if you want it that way, squeezing the thighs together. Palms are going to go down into the mat. Go ahead and squeeze your shoulder blades together just slightly. Your chest will puff up towards the ceiling and then your feet are going to come close to your bottom. As you take your inhale in, I want you to press through the heels, lift the hips towards the ceiling. Again, keeping those thighs squeezing and squeeze the glutes at the top. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Keep going. Making sure that the big toes stay connected to the mat as you lift up. You're continuing to squeeze the thighs in. 2 more times. Last time, working those glutes again. These glutes help support the pelvis and the hips. So continue to work those glutes throughout pregnancy. Release down. grab onto your prop. Let's lay it just onto the left side, whether that be a block or a pillow. And then we're gonna bring the knees to lay on top of your prop. Arms are gonna open up to a T. Take a deep inhale in. On your exhale, you're gonna take your right hand, bring it all the way over to your left hand, and then you're gonna try to press that right hand as far as you can. And inhale, open back up. Exhale, close it off. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, let's open it up. We're just gonna hold here for a moment. Your gaze can go wherever feels best on your neck. On your next inhale, take your knees back to center. We'll bring that prop to the opposite side, letting your knees fall on top of that prop again. Arms come to a T. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, left arm comes over. Bring it as far as you can. Maybe you can reach past those fingertips. And then inhale, bring it all the way open again. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open it up. Hold here for a moment. Gaze where feels good. On your next inhale, let's just roll all the way over to our right side. Press ourselves up. And we're going to just finish in a slight relaxation. Just taking a moment to allow ourselves some breathings and some space. So I like to take a pillow between the legs here, laying on the left side, and then you can also take a pillow underneath your head if you'd like. So just come to a space that feels comfortable for you. And when you're ready, close your eyes. And just take a moment to show yourself gratitude for showing up on your mat today, for giving your body movement, for working muscles that'll help strengthen and stabilize you. No matter what it looked like to get here, whatever your practice looked like, you showed up and you should be proud. And feel free to stay here as long as you want. And when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open and press yourself up. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.